Hello world and welcome to Universe Lovers. On today's video, I'm going to be doing a gel pedicure. Now in today's pedicure, I'm going to be using a combination of my cuticle nippers and my electric e-file. A mixture of those two tools is definitely going to leave the nail plate super clean and the cuticle looking perfect. Now, it's been a while since I've done a pedicure on myself. I usually would just let my natural nails be, living their best life. But I wanted to paint them. I wanted to just revamp them and give them life because they were looking pretty, sad. So sad. And I didn't want them to be sad anymore. So by me cutting them, shaping them, buffing them, showing them care and loving them. This is another form of self-love for me, especially before I became a nail technician. I always loved doing my feet and my nails, always, especially my feet. So I'm really good at doing feet, I gotta say. Now before I did this and I pushed the cuticle back, I had already gone to use a pumice stone, so it's like a rock. But back in the days they were rocks. Now this is like a styrofoam kind of lightweight, rough stone, and I buy the Mr. Pumice, and that's the one that I use to remove like my calluses, the ones that grow on the side of my foot or on the back of my foot, like on my heel. It's such a handy tool. You don't have to go cut in or anything like that. You can just continue to scrub on the area that has callus, and with the pumice stone it'll be gone. If it's a big callus, then you have to do it in increments. I even cut down on my callus to make it super duper close to the skin where there's no callus. So it's all about preference and how you maneuver this stone, because these can definitely cut the skin. But I'm already familiar with the process. I've gotten cut and burned a couple times, but it's worth it, honestly, for me. So it gave me my feet back. I am not kidding. I used to be self-conscious of my feet because I just grew these freaking calluses on the side of my toe, and I'm like, oh, why? I hate this. And this pumice stone actually was the one that helped me so much. Once I'm done buffing my toenails and making sure they're shaped and they're cut and they're neat and there's no jagged edges where they can get caught on our clothes or our sheets, then you are on to the next step. And now that our toenails are prepped, now we're going to apply a base coat. Whenever you're applying gel polish onto your toenails, you want to make them thin layers, because for some reason what I've noticed is that you put the base coat on, and depending how heavy you put it on, the nail will take that shape. So when I put the clear and then I put the black on top of the nail, what happens is that however the gel is placed on there, that's how it's going to cure. So if it has more on one side than the other, then as the nail's growing out, you're going to see that, and the nail, it'll almost put weight on the nail and push it out. So the way it was painted, it grows out that way, which is pretty weird. The chrome powders are going to pop a lot more when you have a black background. If you do it with a white one, it'll show. I don't feel it has intensity that it has using the black background. So I want to give you a heads up. When you are painting the nails with chrome powder, if you're using a glossy top coat, then your pigment comes off a lot faster. Chrome doesn't last too long, maybe 3 to 5 days, and after that it's gonna look very worn out, especially around the borders. But yes, it's something that you can just wear for a week or for a show, for an event. You can actually wear whenever you want. But if you're not doing it yourself, then I would just beware that it's only gonna last for about a week. On the other hand, if you use a matte top coat instead of a glossy top coat on top of the chrome powders, the chrome colors actually stay on. They don't start to fade or start to chip away at the corners. So yes, if you want them to last, the chrome colors, because they actually look really good when you make a matte as well. In order for your chrome powders to stick, you have to make sure that you are using a top coat that is a no wipe top coat. If your top coat has an inhibition layer, it is not going to work at all. This next step is crucial. When you go to cure your top coat before you apply your chrome powder, only cure it for about 40 to 45 seconds, no more than that. If you cure your top coat for over 60 seconds, then what's gonna happen is that it already fully cured, and now the chrome powder is not gonna be able to glide on there. It's just gonna stay on like a little dust on top of the nail. So you might have to buff the nail all over again, re-put your top coat on, and then cure it for 40 to 45 seconds. And then rub it into the nail with a sponge or with your finger. I like to use my nail filer for removing any polish that went onto the skin of my toes. As you see here, it just cleans it up real nicely. Here I changed my mind. I'm like, I want to make this matte and add some gloss to it. So I'm mattifying the base of it, and then I'm gonna draw with some top coat right on top, a couple lines all along the sides and the middle, and I'll do that to each and every toe. I used top coat to create these lines, cured them for 40 seconds, and then picked up some of the green chrome powder and used it on the green side, and then picked up some purple duochrome on the other side, and then I just dusted off, and now I'm sealing it with a top coat. This way it won't disappear once water hits it because it's still powder. This is to just reinforce it, and you are good to go. Now I do have to say that after I bought a pack of 12, I believe, chrome powders, and then I bought some sheer ones that give off more of a like soft, subtle, cute, pretty, pearlescent look, I really grew to be fond of these chrome powders. They're so fun. They're really diverse. They are like showstoppers. There's so many colors to work with, honestly, and you can go light or you can go bold like this. I love it. I'm obsessed with chrome powders. Just saying. While I was in my hostel, I was doing a whole photo shoot on the rooftop of my feet. Now everybody's just like staring and like, what am I doing? What is she doing? Why is she taking so many pictures of her feet? And she's just like frolicking them around and moving them left to right, you know? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's just business. So weird. Like, what is she doing? I picked up a cotton pad and applied some alcohol onto it, also onto my fingers, and then I applied cuticle oil, and I brought these babies back to life. Oh my god, because my feet were looking, not their best, you know? They were looking unloved, uncared for. Who's your mother? And the grand finale, my friends. You have some bold colors. They catch your eye. Look at my feet. I model them. Remember I was telling you about those people that were like, she's a weirdo? They were probably right, but I was doing it for a cause, all right? For the love of creativity, intelligence, of inspiration. Here it is. I just put it all out onto my toes, and they feel good, and they look good, and they moisturize, and they cared for now. Who gonna talk about my feet now? Before I head out, did you subscribe? Okay, because I thought you said you were my friend.